Hi, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is for you guys. It is nighttime here in Japan, and we are back for more language learning. Um, so if you're new to the program, uh, as if I'm actually teaching, call me sensei. Um, we are going over the kana for Japanese so that we can start learning kanji and learn grammar rules and things like that. And we're not going very quickly because I'm just not fast. But we are covering an okay amount, and hopefully, we will be learning kanji before you know it. I'm RJ, and this is my Japanese language learning. I do it every weeknight, so 5 days in a row. And you can always catch my videos on my YouTube channel. Um, I post everything up there, and they're in specific playlists and they're in order. So you'll just catch one right after the other. And, well, I mean, that's if you're interested in learning, that is. um, we use Wanikani and we use Maromori. Both of those I use on the desktop. Mina is responding to something I said 10 minutes ago. No, thank you, Mina. Thank you. Mina is, in fact, my wifey in real life. And she's very supportive. Oh, that's why you were gone. Got it. Anyways, uh, so I use both of those programs on the desktop. Wanikani does have a phone app that syncs up with the desktop, so you can do your lessons wherever is most comfortable with you. And I don't know a whole lot about Marumori. This is my first time kind of using it. I guess kind of first time using it because wifey has suggested I use it and I started. That's pretty much it. We're gonna get started with Wanikani today, first and foremost. And boop, there it is. Okay, hold on. Let me let me go over here. Yeah, that's good. That's good. We can we can live like that. Okay, so um, we're starting with Wanikani because right now I'm learning the radicals, and I'm just kind of waiting until we start learning kanji, which I think I have to pass all these radicals here. As you can see, I've gotten most of them up to where they need to be um, until I get more new lessons. And radicals. Okay, so if you're, again, new, beginner to Japanese, that's totally fine. Radicals are the parts of kanji. And wanikani, I hope I unlock a few today. Mina says, I'm betting you unlock a few today, and I'm hoping I unlock a few today. Anyways, wanikani names these radicals alternative names than their. Well, I can't say real names because there kinda isn't like an official name. Anyways, they name these radicals so that when we're learning kanji, we can look at what radicals, traditional, thank you, Mina. We can look at what radicals make up the kanji, and they use mnemonics, which is like telling a story, or um, sometimes it's saying a poem or something like that, that will help you remember what radicals work for that specific kanji. That's why they name them, and that's why we learn them, so that it makes learning the kanji easier. Plus, it's just kind of neat. It's it's kind of like well, I'd say it's learning the alphabet, but that's what kana and is. So I don't know. It's just parts of kanji. Anyways, that's what we're doing today. I've got 25 reviews that I have to do. Uh, Wani kind of uses I always forget what the word is. Something about sequence, repetition, yada yada, something something. Basically, they time it so that you have to continue to recall these things until you master them. Spaced repetition study. Thank you, Mina. You will forever be my Japanese know-it-all, and I love it. So, I can tell you what these radicals are named. It's not going to make a whole lot of sense unless you've been here from the beginning, but I can quickly go through them, and hopefully we unlock some more lessons today, because I would really like to get started on kanji. So this radical is a lid. It's a line with a nipple on it, but they call it a lid. This is power. It looks like a guy who's flexing. Ooh, beach ball this size. This is the ground. Literally just a flat line. This is the sun. It's also used for day. Okay, yeah, actually they do want to put a lid on the nipples. Good one, Mina. This is a drop, okay? Now, what you can do, outside of this, but also if you get the thing wrong, this eyeball right here where when I scroll over it says item info, allows you to give it a pseudonym. So, for instance, when I was first learning Japanese, I kept thinking this was a drip rather than a drop. Doesn't matter a whole lot, but it does if you have to write in the correct name. So I just renamed it, and this time I remember what it is because, well, I've used it enough times. This is a slide, like you're just sliding down it. This is woman. It is also the kanji for woman. It's pretty easy to remember because Wanikani points out, and I love that they pointed this out, but most women have two X's for their chromosomes, and so does this. And I think it's cool that Wanikani didn't say all women. They said most women. Anyways, trans rights, yada yada. Great stuff. This is a mouth. This is a prison. If you want to remember this one, I'm not sure how many people watched Game of Thrones, but I know it was really big when it was going for 10 fucking years. But in Game of Thrones, there were the sky prisons that, the cells where they just had this whole wall open to the sky, and sometimes people would throw themselves out of it. Ah! Anyways, so that's how I remember it. They've got another way to remember it, but either way, it's a prison, okay? This is two. It's also the kanji for two. This is river. It is also the kanji for river. Well, I mean, okay, Mina, but really, that was the whole point of those cells, is that people would go crazy from the vast expanse of nothingness being over there, and they would throw themselves out of it. So, like, that's what it is. This is big. It's imagine a guy holding his arms wide. It's big. This is toe, as in the foot. This is a stick. This is 9. It is also the kanji for 9. I find this easy to remember, same with wanikani, because it looks like an N. It kind of looks like a cursive if you were going to write 9 out. See, you got the... And then you do 9. Very sorry for my messy writing. I am not great with that. I'm using a mouse. This is a barb, like something that gets stabbed into you. This is 7. Looks like a 7 upside down. See? Like if we were to draw a 7 like this. See? Yeah. Pretty cool. This is a gun. See, it looks kind of like a rifle. They made it into like a pistol, a handgun, and I was like, nah, man, it looks like a rifle to me. This is a tree. Now, what you can learn from it is it's a stick. It's a big stick. Because we know the radical for big, and we know the radical for stick, and it's a big stick. And what's a big stick but a tree, right? And that's why radicals are important. This is a cross. Nothing more to it. This is construction. Okay? It's going to be used later on for some really cool stuff. So what they use the mnemonic for it is it kind of looks like one of those steel girders, the beams that get used in construction, like for big buildings and stuff. And I agree. I think it looks exactly like a beam for construction. This is a person. I will never get the picture that they gave us to remember this with out of my head. It was horrifying, and that was Maramori that gave it to me, I think. No, I think it was Wanikani. Yes. They didn't draw pictures on the phone app when I was learning these, but if you do it on the website, there are pictures, and maybe they're on the phone app now because maybe it's been updated. I don't know. But when I was going through this for these lessons, they drew a picture of a person with this, and it was horrifying, and I will never forget it now. And man, okay, when I say that, like, that's a big deal because I like horror, okay? And I like body horror and stuff. So this was like terrifying. Anyways, this is fins. They stick out of the water. This is a mountain. It is also the kanji for mountain, and as you can see, it looks like a mountain. I mean, it just does. This is enter. It looks kind of like a tent flap opening. Woo! We're learning kanji now! Yeah! Yeah! Okay. I'm gonna go to the dashboard. Look, we got 10 lessons, okay? So we're gonna start our lessons. We're gonna do those things. It's gonna be cool. You guys, you ready? Okay. So, we are learning kanji now. This is the kanji for 1. It uses the radical ground. I don't normally use the website so forgive me if I kinda, stumble through this. They've got a lot of info here. So, the meaning. This is their mnemonic, so you can remember that this is 1. I don't need a mnemonic for it. I mean, it's pretty easy to see. This is just one. Lying on the ground is something that looks just like the ground, the number 1. Why is 1 lying down? It's been shot by the number 2. It's lying there, bleeding out and dying. You know what? This is the type of story that will get people to remember, so, good on you, Wanikani. The number 1 doesn't have long to live. And then, they give you even more if you can't remember it based off of that. So, let me see, how big is that? Yeah, you probably can't read that. I will read it real quick to you guys because it's small. Hint. To remember the meaning of 1, imagine yourself there at the scene of the crime. You grab 1 in your arms, trying to prop it up, trying to hear its last words. Instead, it just splatters some blood on your face. Who did this to you, you ask. The number 1 points weakly, and you see number 2 running off into an alleyway. He's always been jealous of number 1, and knows he can be number 1 now that he's taken the real number 1 out. You know what? That's kind of crazy, so, hope that works. Now, they also give you this stuff, which isn't going to matter right now, because we're going to eventually learn the readings. They're gonna teach it to us later. So right now, we're just learning what the kanji is. But the reading for 1 is ichi. If you've been studying your kana at all, you can see that it is made up of I and chi, and so it's ichi. Now, there's mnemonics to remember that. Go do your Wanikani. Then they give you vocabulary examples, okay. Where you'll see 1 being used with other things, such as counting, things, or people. Okay. The second one we learn, and it looks like we got these down at the bottom too. Yep, right there. You can see them right there. So these are the kanji we're gonna learn, and I can tell you what each one of those are because I've already learned them, but I'm going start it all over just so I could start with you guys. So this is 2. The kanji is composed of 1 radical, and the radical is 2. We already learned that. The kanji 2 and the radical 2 are exactly the same, so you already know it. 2 is pronounced ni. And here's ways that it's going to be used in the future. This is 7. See, you guys see a trend here? Some of the kanji we already learned, or the radicals we already learned, were already kanji. Yeah. So this is 7. It looks just like an upside down 7. It's pretty easy. We know the name of it as the radical 7. And 7 is shichi. They do a cute little reading mnemonic here. And I don't know if we're going to come across this again, so I'm just going to read it. You know this kanji means 7, so let's use that to remember the reading too. 7 is a lucky number usually, but this time it isn't so good. 7% is all she got on her test after she cheated on it. So they're trying to get you to remember how to say 7 because she cheated. Just obviously take off the tid part, so it's she chi. This is a person. We already know the radical. Person. Only one person at Nintendo. N-I makes a ni sound, and then we put an extra N on the end. Okay? So, Nin. Um, I kind of remembered it, like, because I'm English speaking, and I'm sure you guys know those little plastic models, Nendroids. Well, it wouldn't be Nendroids. That's not how you would say it, but I'm American and English speaking, and that's how I always thought it was said, because I'd never seen anyone like heard anyone say it. They're spelled Nen, which don't get that confused because that's not how you would actually say it. But anyways, Nintendo works as well, but it would be more like Nintendo. Um, so however that works for you. Now, the point that they have a second way you can read it, because kanji doesn't always have the same sounds, even if it's the same word. So, he complained about his new jeans, okay? Jin. Jean. So, Nin and Jean, okay? This is 8. Thank you, Mina. So, I learned what the Anyomi reading means, but I forgot what it was. So Nina brought it up right now. I know you guys are seeing, and we're gonna go to it in a second. So this is 8, by the way. We haven't learned this one yet, so this is new. Um, as you see over here, it says readings, and it says Anyomi. Okay, the apostrophe basically means you put a stop there. That way you don't add the N to the Y. Because we've learned about contracted sounds or letters. So in this case, the way you would say onyomi, it wouldn't be onyomi. That's why they put the apostrophe there. It's to know that N actually exists as an N and it's not NYO. Thank you, Mina, for the history lesson. Anyways, I know you guys have seen over here that the readings say on Yomi, and as Mina was pointing out, it means Chinese readings. So kanji came to Japan during different eras when Buddhist priests were translating scrolls from Chinese, and whatever pronunciation was popular in China during that era also came over at the time. So instead of just picking one, Japanese scholars of the time just kept them all, which is why certain kanji have different sounds and different readings, as we just saw with um, person. That's right. With person, it has Nin and Jin, and both of those are correct, but they get used at different times simply because, as Nina pointed out, they just kept them all. So this is 8, and 8 is hachi, okay? And apparently we open a large hatch, and put them in, the fins, that is. And I, I don't really like that, but sure. So, anyways, this is 8, and it's hachi. And now we're gonna do our review because I have lessons separated into 5s. That way I remember them easier. So the kanji reading, oh, is and it wants us to do it in Japanese. Okay, so I guess we were learning how to say it. So remember, we got nin, okay? Ah, No, I was supposed to write 7? No. Oh, right. That was person. I spelled it's wrong. Never mind, never mind. I know what's going on. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Shh. That was practice to see if you guys noticed. Shh. We're gonna pretend that never happened. That never happened, okay? So anyways, this is 2. And we learned that the reading of 2 was ni. Okay? Ta-da! Good. We got it. This is 1. We learned that the reading of 1 is I chi. Nope. This is not reading. This is the meaning. This is the meaning. So that means this is 1. This is the kanji meaning of this, which is person. We already know that because it's the same radical. So, person. This is the kanji reading of this, which is 8. We know that. This is the kanji reading, so not the meaning, of 7. And she cheated. Okay? Now, the cool thing about Wanikani is you don't actually have to change over your language pack for it, okay? It's super cool. Now, granted, it's a lot easier to have the Japanese language pack to be able to write in Japanese when you need to write it for other things. But for Wanikani specifically, your English keyboard will work just fine. You just type in what the Romaji sounds for the words or the letters. That's all real complicated. The sounds for the kana in order to type it up. And if you don't know, thank you, Mina. And if you don't know what the kana is for these sounds and these letters and these words, then you should be practicing. And there's all sorts of different programs that can help you with learning the kana. Like, honestly, the kana is super easy. It doesn't take a whole lot to learn, and you will learn them pretty quickly. I learned them better by actually using them. So you have a loose grasp on it. You can pretty much start learning kanji with it. Okay, Mina is correct. Wanikani uses a behind-the-scenes phonetic keyboard, which is what Romaji is the phonetic sounds of the letters. So it just changes it. Now the meaning for this is 7. We know it's 7. And we know the meaning for this is 2. The reading of this is person. The meaning for this is person, and the reading is either nin or Jean. I like Jean more than nin, because I've heard it used more often to describe a person. But you could do either. Did you know this item has multiple possible readings? See, this little item info thing is cool because it tells you what you could possibly use and then gives you the hints on the mnemonic just in case, so on and so forth. We'll learn the kunyomi reading later. We're not worried about that right now. And we'll learn it real soon, trust me on that. So the meaning of this one is 1, and we know the reading is I chi. The meaning of this one is 8, and we know the reading is ha chi. That is true. Mina is correct on that, and it's an awesome thing. Wanikani tries to give you the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes you'll put something in and it will be like Oh, yes. Okay, so that is how you read it, but we were asking you what it means, not how to read it. And so they'll be like, try again. And they won't count it wrong. Yes, it does do a shaky input thing. It kind of shakes the kanji. It goes, no, 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 no. But it won't count it as wrong because it will give you the chance to fix it if you've put in an answer for something else. It's really, you gotta pay attention to this stuff, and honestly, I just don't. I've talked before about how I don't have the patience to be able to read through a lot of things. I just kind of glance at it. But I've actually heard that a lot of people read that way. So, anyways, this is Hachi. Good job! So, we're gonna do another batch because I get to learn 10 more. And then we'll review those. Pretty cool stuff. So anyways, this is the radical for power, and it is also the kanji for power. The reading mnemonic is who has the most power of anyone? It's the Power Rangers. They're battling their arch nemesis Riki. Okay, okay. They defeat him and lock, but Japanese doesn't have an L, so it's spelled with an R. So they roku him up so that he can't hurt anyone ever again. This is not the mnemonic that I learned when they taught me it, but that's fine. So this is Riki and Raku, okay? This is the kanji for 3. It uses 1 and 2. 3 is the number of chances you get with Santa-san. Santa-san. So the 3 is san, okay? Ichi, ni, san, okay? He has a list, and when you get to 3 naughty things lines, that's it. You're on Santa-san's 3 strikes and you're out list. Okay, that's cute. That's cute. A lot of places that teach you, I started learning kanji with Duolingo, and this was back before AI was being used in their program. And honestly, Duolingo, not a great language learning tool. A lot of people will say that it is, but that's because they haven't used anything else. Now, Duolingo is good for the alphabet because it's just repetition. It's just remembering this was what, looks like and all sorts of things like that. So if you need to learn your kana, Duolingo is fine for that. Duolingo is not good for learning kanji. It's not good for learning sentence structure. It's not really good for anything else. It really is, and it's pretty bad. But, oh, excuse me. Mina says, it's also pretty decent for Spanish, or it was before the AI slop. Yeah, Duolingo has switched over to using AI for its stuff. From everything from making sentences, which make no sense at all, to, well, everything. And it's not good. It's not, because AI isn't reliable. It's machine translation is better than AI, and they are not the same thing. And if anybody tries to tell you otherwise, they're wrong. Okay? AI is just as a technology, it is not advanced to the point that we are trying to say it is. And because of that, what we are currently using, generative AI that is well, it has no intelligence. It's pretty much just a program that throws up anything you put into it. That's literally all it is right now. Anyways, this is mouth, okay? It's the radical mouth as well. Do you remember seeing the construction worker earlier in the... We have not learned the construction mnemonic. What? What? Okay, you guys. Look, we're not, apparently, I guess I was supposed to learn the construction mnemonic, but we haven't. They haven't taught it to us. If you haven't yet, not to worry. For kanji with the, now this is ko, okay? Yes, fancy word math box. That's a good way to put AI, Mina. And this is funny because yeah, they're like, "Hey, do you remember doing this? If not, it's cool." And I'm like, we didn't." Anyways, so this is a ko reading, okay? There are a lot of them. We'll use the character Koichi every time. He's one of the people who started this website. So we'll do our best in the mnemonics to embarrass him as much as possible. Anyways, remember that whenever you see ko, think koichi, okay? Everyone agrees that the mouth is... This is funny, okay? Sorry. Everyone agrees the mouth is Koichi's best feature. Or Koichi's best feature. You stare at it lovingly as he whispers sweet kanji readings to you. And this is why I subscribe to this site, okay? So the reason why it's ko with a long sound is because it is ko. That's the first part of it. You know what? I'm going to draw this. So we got... I'm not sure I'm doing this right, but I think it goes like this. I think that's how we do the ko, okay? So the first part is ko, ko, okay? And the last part is a u, okay? But the u, when placed after an o or a u, extends the vowel. We just learned this stuff in Marumori. So perfect timing, okay? So it's a long O sound, which I'm drawing it out a little more so I can show you guys, native speakers. It's so hard to even hear it as a new Japanese learner. But yes, it's koichi, okay? Ko with a longer O sound. Because otherwise it'd be koichi. It's not koichi. It's koichi. Anyways, the mouth is ko. Oh, I didn't look at the other one. The mouth can also be ku, apparently. This is big. We already know that. It's the radical for big. There's this big guy. That's how you remember the radical, remember? Good news is that with enough exposure, you start getting used to the long vowels. It takes a while, though, and that's true. You do get used to it, but it does take a while. I mean, that's how it is with every language, but I just wanted to express that I'm drawing it out further so that you guys can understand it, or at least see the difference. But when we hear it, if we do hear it, it won't be as long and as dramatic and as enunciated as that. So there's this big guy, and he's wearing a huge tie-dye shirt. Because he's so huge, the tie-dye shirt is also super huge. Everything about him is pretty big, but the tie-dye stands out more than anything else. Now the cool thing about this is they're exactly right that tie-dye works here, because we've got the kana for T-A-I, which makes a tie sound, okay? And then we've got the kana for D-A-I, so it would be dye, tie-dye. Now, as a note, these are two different ways to read it. You don't say tie-dye for big. It's either tie or die, okay? So when we put it in, we're only putting one of those words in, okay? And this is woman. It's the radical for women, so we already know. When you think of a woman, think of Jo, Anne, though she usually just goes by Jo, okay? Jo. That's a J-Y-O, a small Y-O that is, so it extends the vowel, or at least, wait, is it called compounding? I think that's what they said it was called. So it puts the two sounds together, which is J-I and Y-O, so then it just becomes Jo. Now if you look over here, yeah, you can barely see that stuff. I'm going to read those to you, because I can't really zoom in without taking off more of the screen, you know, because it's over here. It's all the way over here. Anyways, so those are also Nyo, which is N-Y-O, and Nyo with a Y, I'm sorry, a U after it to extend it further, okay? But we're gonna go with Jo because that one's easy, okay? Easy in the first one they teach you. Okay. Quiz time! This is the kanji meaning. We know it is power because it's the same as the radical. We're not going to look at the possible meanings. It does have more possible meanings, but that sometimes confuses people, okay? So we're not going to look at that right now. The kanji reading for power is Riki. Okay? It was Riki, and you can also use Roku. But we're using Riki because I remember it that way. Yes, it has multiple possible readings. Kanji meaning for this one is 3. Also, I'm going to show you. You can literally just type in 3. It works too. You don't have to write it out. Kanji meaning for this is mouth. The kanji reading is ko. Okay? K-O with a U. Ko. Kanji meaning of this is big, and we remember it because it's the same as the radical. The kanji reading of woman is J-Y-O. See, it auto changes it into the word I'm trying to type out. Now, I do have a Japanese language pack, so I could type it out in Japanese with my keyboard, but I don't have to. so I don't. The meaning for this is woman, just like the radical. The reading for 3 is san. Remember, if you want to type an N with your English keyboard, you hit N twice. As you saw, it just puts that there. But if you hit it twice, it's an N. Got it? Big is tai or die. So we're going to do T-A-I, tai. Awesome. That's all the lessons we have for today. And it says that later tonight I will have... I don't know if these are reviews. I don't know what those are. What does this mean? Those are reviews. Okay. So it'll be reviews. And the reviews will probably be for the last of the kanji. I'm sorry, the radicals up here, which is fine. Review forecast. Okay, that's what that is. So yeah, we learned our first kanji. Congratulations, everybody. We've gotten into kanji. Great stuff. Great stuff. Okay? And now we're going to switch on over to Maromori. Now, first I'm going to drink because I've been talking a lot. Okay, Maromori, we are doing the new beginnings aisle, and for what that means is it basically covers everything they think you should know before you start getting into grammar, okay? Um, so what we've learned with all these steps is all the brushing up on hiragana. And I think what we're going to learn with all these steps is katakana, probably. Um, and then I guess we'll get into grammar. I don't know. I'm hoping. Now, the green ones are supposed to be like little exercises. So I don't know what exercise we're doing after an exercise we already did. But here we are. We're gonna... Oh, no. Oh, this is gonna be hard. Okay. We'll get it. We'll get it. It's fine. It's fine. So we're gonna test all of your hiragana knowledge. The all of them. Yes, Mina. The all of them. Holy crap. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. The way this game works is the hiragana comes across the board. Oh, you know what? I probably still have... No, I don't have the drawing up. Okay, anyways. The hiragana starts over here, and it swims across the board as fish or turtles or other things like that. And there's an octopus that you kinda can't see right over here, okay? That's his tentacle, and he's trying to eat the fish. And when they get close enough to him, they like off the screen, he eats them. And that takes away my hearts. Now, normally I don't lose at this, okay? So, but I haven't also had to do, Jesus Christ, how many things is it? Okay, so hiragana is something like, yeah, because we're doing the Daku 10 or the 1010 in general, it's what, like 40 some fucking sounds I'm gonna be doing? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We're doing all of hiragana, which means combined words and other 1010 and all sorts of things. So you guys will get to see. Yeah, thank you. Guys will get to see. Oh, goodness. So I could look at the kana chart real quick to see what we're going to learn, but I would much rather just panic. You have to save the fish and the turtles. Okay, yeah. Okay, we're starting. So I have a hard time with the 1010. I don't know why, but the Dakuten is very difficult for me to remember which letters turn into which letters. But we're gonna try, okay? So we got no, and we got ya. Ne, and chi, and she, and I already forgot what this one is. That's fine. And then we got ra? No. Sa. And oh, nope. Well, that one up there is oh, I don't know what any of these are. Okay. I know what yo is. What are these? Ru. Nope. Ro? It's gone. It's gone. It doesn't matter. Wow, that's what that one is. Okay, okay. Thank you. So anyways, this one is sa. And we got eh. And sometimes I have a hard time. That's su, or it's su, with an su, not a tsu. Mm. That one's re, re. I know that one. And this one is he. Nope, it is hey. Yeah, hey. Yeah, I know it's a cow, so it's mo, right? No, it's not. Mu, right. Moo, because mu is moo. Oh my god. This is meh, and that one is ne. No, it's not. That one is... I don't know what that one is. Yes, it looks like... Oh, noodles? Okay. Thank you. That one does look like spaghetti. It is new. N-U. This is, I mean, that one's O. No, it's neither of those. What is it? Oh, with an A. Okay, I was right the first time. With just an A, not A-H, guys. Let's see. This is a fish hooky thingy. So... Mo. And that one's ni. We know that one. And that one's ta. We know that. And that's e. Easy. It's ki and ha and ho. Nope. No. That one's ka and e and se. What is this one? Thought it was a ha. It's not a ha. Ma? That's what it is. It's ma. There we go. We got ra. No, we don't. We got chi and ni, ne and e. Then we got ha up there, and we got no. Guys, this is gonna take forever. We got she, ku, ri, ko. We got who, and we got me, and we got te. We got well, that one's oh, I know that. This little weird thingy is something, and I can't figure it out. Oh, it's re. Okay. Got se and u, and that one's... I don't know what that one is. Again. Is it gonna go away? Again. Anyways, we got he, and this weird fishhook thing that I forgot what it was all over again. It's fine. Mo. Right. And we got ma. And that is Sue. And this one's moo. Oh, this can't be interesting. This really can't be interesting. Okay. That one is, something. What is that one? No, it's not. It's not. I'm not panicking. I'm totally doing okay. He is up there, or hey is up there, and Sue is there. It's a hoe. Thank you. It is a hoe. And this one is so? Yeah. And this one is wa. Nope, it's not whoa. It's whoa. And this one is na. And this one is ru. I know that one. This one's ah. Ko. I'm doing okay. Ku. Yo. Eh. I get stuck on this one every single time. Wah. That's right. And we just did this one. Nope, we did not just do that one. We did. I don't remember. Ka and ra and what is that? It is not so. Windy Mountain Road? I don't know. Okay. Anyways, this is ki, and this is u, and that's ri, and it's a ro. Okay. Thank you. Ro. Fu is easy to know because it's the only thing that looks like that. He. This is me, by the way. That one's easy. Te. To. Me. No. Nu. Ru. Nope. Oh. That's right. It's oh. And this is you. We got Sue with a T and a toe and I know what this one is. I do. I will get it. Nope. What is it? Yeah, and nah, it's nah. I went through literally every other ah sound, okay? That one's oh. I literally did. I typed in ta and ma and no, it was not fantastic. It sucked. Ro, and so, and te, no, ta, no, ka, no. What is it? No. Ni. Ra. Mi. Ta. Ho. You. K. It's K. Okay. And N. I'm just gonna let it go. What is it? Uh, it's K again. I'm so bad at this. Guys, I almost lost. Look at that. I've got half a heart. It gets a lot more difficult when you're literally doing every letter of the alphabet because some of them look the same, okay, to me, especially when you're first learning it. I like that witch's knife, okay, so I might remember that one. Yes, ke and ro are both difficult for me to remember. I can remember almost every other R sound, but ro, for some reason, is hard for me. And I think it's because it looks like another one, which, I mean, like, it is what it is. But, mm, but, but I passed it, and that's all that matters. Uh-oh, I forget what the purple is. In this level, you will unlock 0 kanji and 34 vocabulary. Ooh, interesting. Okay, you guys ready? 34 vocabulary. Click on the unlock items button at the bottom to automatically unlock all the items in your main study list. Ooh, I'm finally getting to the point where I get to study. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm kind of yawny. I've been real tired today, so. Do you already know some of these words? You can mark them as known and they will not show up in your lessons or reviews. They will also not show any furigana. Now, for those of you that don't know what furigana is, okay? It is the sounding out, I guess, basically, of kanji. Yeah, basically. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I kept them anyway so I could practice reading. Mina says because she's still slow as hell, and I am too. As you can see, I have trouble with some of the letters. I am by no means an expert. You can click the I want to mark words as known and mark words by clicking on them. A check mark should appear once an item has been marked. Okay, so kanji, vocabulary. Oh, okay. I'm just looking at all of them first. Oh, some of these I don't know. Okay, so I'm supposed to click unlock them, and then they go into my study list. And I'm assuming we're gonna learn some of these. Mina, maybe you can give me a heads up. Do we learn these? Should I go over them now, or will Maromori do it? So Maromori will cover them, so I shouldn't go over every single one? No. Okay, so we're learning them now. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. This? Here you can dive into lessons, review your previously learned items, check your stats, or tweak your study list settings to perfection. It looks like there are some exciting lessons just waiting for you. Are you ready to tackle them head on? By default, we give you 10 new lessons a day from the ones you have unlocked so far, but you can change by editing the study list. To do this, click on Lessons button in the studying to begin. Oh, okay. So now I have lessons. Oh. Yeah, yeah, but no, I clicked on the study list because I wanted to. So here we go. Lessons. Guys, we're learning. We're learning. We're not just brushing up. Ooh. So we should probably do our lessons, and then we should probably go back to the aisle, I would assume. So let's learn, guys. Do 11 lessons. You ready?
かわいい、
Oh, cool. It started out with it. Kawaii.
かわいい、
Kawaii. Now, as you can see, we've got the hiragana here, spelling it out, and it is ka-wa-i, with two e's. Well, I mean eyes, but makes the e sound. Okay? Uh, you do not have a favorite meaning story yet. You can create your own or select one from the community. Don't you know about cute kawaii culture? Kawaii culture. It's all the rage. Give it a search and immerse yourself in the adorable cuteness that is kawaii. Okay, so homepage is also where you can select the game book anime specific decks as well as a few other things. As you get further, you'll get fewer and fewer vocabulary mnemonics. They're still working on that part as they are focused on grammar. Yeah, so the reason we use both Wanikani and Marumori is because Wanikani focuses on teaching us kanji and the words, whereas Marumori teaches us how to put those words together so that we can create sentences. Because right now, all I know how to do is say things. And if I can't put those things together, then I can't express an idea. So that's why Wifey has me going into Marumori so that I can learn the grammar and the way things are put together. Yep, actually, Mina just explained the same thing. Also, no, not the home page. The study list page is where you can find flashcards and other tools. Okay, so kawaii, kawaii is no, it's not adorable, and you can go fuck yourself. Guys, I love my wife. Okay. I like how
かわいい、
quickly and how it started it right away. So, this is an adjective because you are describing somebody or something as cute, adorable, charming, lovely, pretty.
何、
Um, oh, sorry.
何、
Nani. Okay, yeah, that one's easy. Oh, I just noticed. How do I go back? Can I go back? No, I can't go back. Uh, I noticed that they had the kanji for it. This is what in kanji? I don't think you guys can see that because it's so fucking tiny. Yeah, you guys can't see that. Anyways, they got a tiny, tiny little kanji for what down there, okay? But, since we're not learning kanji here, yeah. It's really cool. So, nani. I'm sure most of us know what nani means. It means what? It's, there's not much to that.
ちょっと、
This is a little bit, or slightly, or, yeah, a little bit is pretty much the easiest way to say it. Choto, okay? So what it is, uh, CH with a little YO, which makes it cho. And then we got, U extending it, so it's choto. So you're gonna say it slightly longer than to. It's not choto, it's choto. And it does mean a little bit. You'll hear it a lot in, well, pretty much anime and other things where they're basically saying, hang on a second. So they'll say, choto mate, okay? Um, but choto means little bit.
まあま
Ah, mama. Okay, so what we have here is M-A-A, M-A-A. So it's not mama, it's mama. And it means so-so or passable or, like, eh. That's kind of how we would say it in English. Oh, hold on, hold on. You can use it as a polite no, too. So you can say choto to say no. Um, Thank you, Mina, for that. I'm not sure how that would work because I haven't heard it, but I trust her on that. She's gone to school for learning this sort of stuff. I always thought that it was kind of like let's um let's move the topic along and not talk about that specific thing. That's a little okay. Okay. So now that sentence gets used. Yeah, a polite no. I can see what you're saying. It is versatile, and a lot of these words are versatile. You can use them for a lot of different things besides what we are currently learning from them. But these are our lessons right now. So, uh, thank you for all of this info, Mina. Um, yeah, sometimes somebody will say something, and you're like, kind of, you want to be like, let's not. No, we should not talk about that. But you don't want to be rude about it because you don't want to be an asshole. So you might say, Choto, like, kind of like, and people get the idea that that's like, we're not gonna go down that path. That's a little. And then you just don't finish the thought because that's what you're saying. Anyways, mama is so-so. You usually, if I remember correctly, you use this one um you might say this when you're talking about something you've done when you're humbling yourself basically. Apparently, we don't decline directly ever. The only time you usually use no is when you receive compliments. Then you act like it's the craziest thing you've ever heard. Okay, Mina, thank you.
いい
E, okay? Means good or excellent, fine, nice, pleasant, agreeable. E, okay? It's just two I sounds making a E, okay? Not E, but E. I don't know if you guys can hear the difference.
いい
E. Okay, we're gonna start a test. We're ready. So this is the meaning of ma, and that was so,
まあま
mama, mama. Okay. This is E, which is good.
あいい
E. This is sorry, I have to stop for a second because I'm very American and so I tend to make these sounds in English where they're not supposed to sound like that. So I have to concentrate on how I'm not sliding vowels and I'm making the right sounds because sure, I've heard kawaii enough that I could say it the way I heard it, which is not the correct way to say it. Because I would say kawaii, which is not how you're supposed to say it. Mama. Oh, okay. Not adding extra H's in your words. I don't know what that's in reference to, but okay. So I stop and I think, and it's ka-wa-i. Got it? Kawaii. Anyways, the meaning is cute.
かわいい
Kawaii. Hey, closed captions got that right. Fucking awesome. Okay, this is choto, okay? Choto. And it means a little bit.
ちょっと
Ah, a little. Damn it. Okay, so it says I got it wrong because I added bit to the end of it. I'm not sure. Doesn't look like I can add that in there. Oh, meaning, yeah, edit. I'm gonna try to remember a little, okay? Instead of adding a bit, okay? There? So, a little.
ちょっと
Chotto. This is nani. Remember, nani means what?
何
You'll hear it just in reference to what are you doing? What are you trying to say? All sorts of things like that. What is your name? Yeah.
おいしい
Oishi. Okay? This means delicious. You say it after you eat something. Oishi. Oishi. And if you want it to talk about how delicious it is, you draw out the E sound. Oishi. Oishi. Anyways.
おいしい
Oishi.
食べる
Taberu. Okay? This is to eat. You will hear this a lot when people are talking about, well, obviously, what do you want to eat? Can you eat that? Or I would like to eat this. Or all sorts of things like that. So, taberu. Okay?
飲む
Nomu. This is to drink. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It does say to swallow or to take medicine. I haven't heard it like that, but that's fine. Nomu. Okay? It's a no and a mu.
はい
Hai means yes, or that is correct. Some people use it to just signify that they're listening. Somebody will say something and they go, hi, hi, hi. Not everybody, though. It is sometimes used like that. What works well in English, not in Japanese? Please tell me. Sometimes I don't see your things until after I've passed something. Yes, often in long conversations, people will say, hi. Ah, gotcha, Mina. Gotcha.
いいえ
Ie means no, okay? Or, I mean, that's pretty much the only time, or this is a direct no, okay? And this is what Mina was talking about, is that you don't often say this, unless it's to a compliment. Ie. Yep, I'm ready. Taberu, which means eat. Taberu. To eat.
食べる
Taberu. Taberu.
食べる
Taberu. Ie means no.
いいえ
Oishi means delicious.
おいしい
Oishi. Yeah, exactly. Mina is giving us an example of when you would say no directly. Usually somebody says, like, your Japanese is so good, which you'll hear a lot if you speak Japanese to any of the locals, especially if you look like a foreigner, which we we do, my family does. um, and they will compliment you uh, because you're trying. Really, I guess that's kind of the way it is. So even if your Japanese is not good at all, they will be like, "Oh, because you took the time to learn some of this." They'll be like, "Your Japanese is very good." Anyways, that's the time you will actually say "ie," because you are saying no, no. And then you usually follow it up with like you can either say, in fact, that it is bad, or that you are not good at it, or you could say something like Mina said, that I'm still learning, I have a long way to go. Sometimes they'll even let you say things like, you could use ma, as we have learned, to be like, it's so-so, it's not great, you know? I'm still learning is the safest response because others, exactly, Mina's right, others might offend people because sure, you do, humble yourself, but if you don't humble yourself enough, it could be offensive. And also if you humble yourself too much, it could be offensive because you're basically going, no, you're wrong, I'm terrible at this. Like it's safer to just be like, I'm still learning. Yes, humble yourself correctly. And unfortunately there are rules for that I don't quite understand, but that's a that's why Mina's giving us the heads up that it's much better to just disagree with the compliment and say that you're still learning, because now that's not talking about how great or not great you are. It's humbling yourself, but it's not putting any sort of amount of humbleness on it. And then talk about the weather, which is true. Anyways, this is nomu, which is to drink.
飲む
Nomu. Um, this is hai, which is yes.
はい
It does say that is correct for the meaning, and that is also a correct way to do it. But most of the time, people don't say hi as in that's correct. I mean, kinda, because it means yes. So, anyways, anyways, cool shit, cool shit. Look, we learned 10 today. Yeah! Guys, we're learning it. It does depend on the situation. I'm never gonna say, oh, we got one lesson already. I'm never gonna say anything that we learn here is correct 100% of the time. All of it is kind of guidelines. Every single last bit of it, all of it. Um, it's been Hi is also versatile. It can also mean no, as Mina points out, because English is the problem, really. And she's right, okay? I'm not saying English sucks, and I'm not saying Japanese is better. I'm just saying that going from one language to the next when they are very different in every respect um, makes it kind of difficult to wrap your head around the idea that uh, a single word can mean an entire sentence and also not, and also be the same but also not, and many different things. I've been as fun little videos, I've been watching some people, because Mina's real huge on language, um, talk about how you'll learn textbook Japanese, and they'll be like, this is what this means, this is what this means, this is, oh, like we were talking about, ie, okay? Ie. Um, no. That's no. We get taught that means no. So, in English, I'd go, no. I'd say no. I'd say no about a lot of things. That's what the word means, no, okay? Um, but, but as Mina pointed out, you don't say it directly for a lot of things, at least conversationally and in um, what's the word? What's the word? Like real life examples and real life conversation. That's what I'm trying to say. Uh, right. Mina gave us an example of how hi can mean, or how yes can mean no. Did you not take the garbage out? Hi. Meaning, yes, that is correct. No, I did not. um, so So what I was saying is, yeah, I've been watching videos about the difference between textbook Japanese and conversational or real life conversational Japanese. And first off, anime doesn't use real life conversational Japanese. It does in some regards, but for the most part, it doesn't. So you will sound like you're speaking from anime if you learn your Japanese through anime. However, you will also sound like you're speaking from a textbook if you learn your Japanese only through a textbook, okay? Hey, Terry! I'm just going over how we learn these specific things um, through Japanese lessons and how sometimes they don't correlate. Ad break. Hopefully that you didn't get hit with that. Um, how it doesn't always correlate to real life conversation. So, uh, so I've been watching these videos and they'll talk about how in textbook you're taught this means this, like oishi, obviously. We just covered that one. It means delicious. So if something's good, like when you're eating it and you're like oishi, that's what we're taught, okay? But this video was talking about how you can use yabai to also say that something is delicious. Honestly, they were trying to express how widely you can use the word yabai. You can mean it, or you can use it for delicious, you can use it for gross, you can use it for that was awesome, you can use it for all sorts of different things. Uh, umai is far more common for men than oishi. We didn't learn umai, we learned oishi, but men tend to use umai. Yeah, exactly. So it's the same thing though with learning English. Is here in Japan, you're taught English through most years in school, I believe, but a lot of Japanese people come out not knowing how to have a conversation because they're taught textbook English, which doesn't translate into conversational English. And and according to studies, most high schoolers do not believe that they could actually hold a conversation because they don't understand the way, English speakers use words that are not the way that they were in the textbook. And it's the same thing for us being English speakers learning Japanese. We're learning textbook Japanese, and thus sometimes people will say things that I'm like, hey, why are they doing that? I learned that daijoubu desu which means it's okay, can be no thank you. And I was like, oh, I can sort of see that. They'll ask me if I want something, and instead of saying no, I say, it's okay. um, which sounds funny when I say it like that, but I can sort of see it. And in fact, you can say daijobu desu for a lot of things, and that was probably the weirdest one for me was being able to say daijobu desu, which means no, thank you. I do not need that thing. Anyways, it's cool stuff. We got 30 more minutes, so we're gonna do some more stuff. And it looks like I only have one more lesson. Do one lesson. We're gonna do our one lesson, okay?
まずい。
And then we're going to do some more on the island, okay? So I haven't learned this one before, but it's mazui, mazui, okay? The 10-10 up here. Yeah, you guys can see that. It's nice and big. The 10-10 up here makes this a ZU instead of a SU. Yeah, Terry, that's actually how we got started on the whole conversation is we learned yeah just recently, and Mina was saying that you hardly ever directly say no. So the only time you, not the only time, because remember, everything's a guideline here. Um, One of the very few times you will directly say no is when somebody gives you a compliment because you humble yourself. You're like, no, 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 no. They'll say something nice to you, like, oh, you're pretty or something like that, okay? And you'll be like, yeah, and then you'll say something probably like, oh, this is just a plain outfit or whatever the case is. I don't know exactly, but the point is that you can say no to compliments, but you don't outright say no. And Terry puts it so succinctly that it's very Japanese to not say no and not offend anyone. So daijoubu desu seems pretty cool, and that's exactly what it is. You don't say no, you say daijoubu desu. It's okay. Mina, you're so ridiculous. So mazui means gross and or like bad taste, unsavory. So it means more like gross taste, okay? I guess unpleasant also works. Mazui, okay? Mazui. Okay, okay.
まずい。
And that's the one thing we have. So, what does mazui mean? It means bad taste.
まずい。
Okay, that was the one lesson we had. So we're gonna go back to our adventure stuff and do some more of that because I still got a half hour. I want to try to do 2 hours for this every night. So that's what we're doing. Where is my island? There we go. Yeah, Mina is telling a story. This happened to her the other day. Some lady on the street told her that she was very pretty because Mina tends to dress traditionally, is probably the best way to put it. Her style isn't necessarily cool, it's more elegant, but like, your umbrella is very pretty. But see, that's kind of what I'm saying is that traditional, your style is more traditional. I wouldn't call it retro or anything like that, but like, it just, it just is. So her umbrella is pretty. It's It's cranes that look like they've been painted with an ink brush. So it is very pretty, but also traditional. And yeah, yeah. And so the lady had told her that she's pretty, and she thought the lady meant her umbrella. But then the lady was like, "No, all of you." Okay, guys, we got 5 fucking lessons. Okay, we'll do this. We'll do this. We'll do this. We got it. Punctuation. Learn how punctuation works in Japanese. Ooh, this is gonna be fun. I am so ready for this. Now, as a reminder, I have absolutely no patience, so if I speed through all the reading, sometimes I don't even read it because it's just too much. I am, however, going to beg my wife to refill my water for me, please. Especially if I'm going to be talking a lot. Yeah, Kasa is umbrella. Can I just say kudasai? Onegashimasu. Mizu kudasai. Nomu. See, as I told you guys, I don't know how to put sentences together. I just know a bunch of words. So what I asked is, well, I said kudasai, which is basically like, please. Yeah, please. And then I said onegashimasu, which is also kind of, please, would you like give me something, okay? Um, and then I said mizu, which is water. And then we learned nomu, which is to drink. So, as I told you guys, I don't know how to put words together. I just know words. So all I said was all those words. Okay, punctuation is important. Without punctuation, it could easily be time to eat grandma instead of time to eat grandma. If that doesn't highlight its importance, then you don't have a soul, or your grandma is delicious. I actually don't have grandmas, so what's that mean? Like, all of them are dead. Do I just not have a soul? uh, what Mina has written out was Mizu onegashimasu, which is water, please. And Mizu kudasai, which is the other thing I said, just not in that order. Oh man, Terry. Okay, so Terry says, wow, suddenly my non-existent knowledge of French, of all things, kicked in and my brain said, but you gotta add du, as in du. I don't know what the next one is because it's French and I never learned French. Yes, kudasai has the implication of please get for me or please do for me. Usually you tag it, or at least I was taught that you tag it on the end of like an order at a restaurant. You know, I would like this, please. So kudasai means please get for me or please do for me this order. And so you can use it like that. You can use it the way I used it. Today's lesson will be about punctuation in Japanese, which will be way more fun than it sounds. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, but we're gonna do it. Hi. Oh goodness, I'm gonna try to say this. Nigai. Oh, okay, okay. Uh, Sierra, I'm hoping, is the way it's said. Says I was confused for a moment because nigai means bitter, and bitter water is definitely not normal. Cool, I'm learning awesome things today. So, fantastic punctuation and how to use it. For the most part, punctuation between Japanese and English is relatively similar. Almost everything looks the same at least. There may be small differences in usage and the odd, new, or missing punctuation mark, but nothing too difficult. Let's start with everyone's favorite sentence ender. On my period. Or I'm on my period. Será. Okay, okay. I don't think it's a weird name. It's just that there are so many variations of the way things can be said. My wife is Irish, for instance. So I've seen Gaelic names, and those ones are very difficult for me because because none of those sound the way I would say them in English. So I don't think it's necessarily that you have a weird name, just not a name that I'm familiar with. So Sarah, right? I hope I got that right this time. Thank you for uh, teaching me how to say it. Periods in Japanese function the exact same as they do in English, only instead of a dot, they look like a small circle, which in my opinion makes them easier to identify when your handwriting gets messy. Here's an example.
丸です。
Maru desu. Okay? The period, let's see, can you guys see that? Oh, it's so tiny. Anyways, their period looks like pretend pretend for a moment that I can draw a circle, okay? And that is what that is. It is not the square it turned into, okay? Square equals circle, got it. Good, thank you, Mina. I'm not going to read this. Here's where things start to get a bit different. In English, our rules for commas are a little more clearly defined than they are in Japanese, but even in English, the rules are a bit shaky. Looking at you, Oxford comma. By the way, I love the Oxford comma. So or something. In comparison, Japanese is pretty lax with its comma rules, but a good rule of thumb is that in Japanese, the comma goes wherever the writer feels there should be a pause or separation in a sentence. This can end up looking a lot like English comma usage, but it can also differ. Let me show you. Here's a complicated Japanese sentence with English-like commas. Okay, you know what? That makes a lot more sense on why machine translation translates things the way they do. Okay.
必要なら政府は不動産業者に土地の価格を落とすよう強制するだろう。
Okay. So, as you heard, every time he paused is where the commas were, because they felt that each of those ideas needed to be separated, but not necessarily were the end of the idea. Now, I don't know what most of those words mean, so we're just going to pretend we understood that. Because remember, we're learning our kanji on wanikani, and we're learning our grammar here on marumori. And we can actually learn the grammar without knowing the kanji to begin with. It's fine. It will work out. In fact, I think it's probably even better that way. That way you can put the words together in a sentence, unlike what I was doing earlier, where I was just saying things without actually putting them together in a sentence. So, I want to listen to this again because it was very interesting to me.
必要なら政府は不動産業者に土地の価格を落とすよう強制するだろう。
Okay, okay. Ah, right. So as you guys see, the kana above the kanji, that's the furigana we were talking about. Um, some games, and I don't believe many books, will give you furigana so you know how to pronounce the kanji. Usually that's if you don't know what the kanji is, I think. Mina, I'm looking at you. There we go. Anything targeted to children. It's to teach you how to read the kanji because since kanji can have different readings, the furigana is there to help you. Um, so yeah, some like the first 300 will also lose the furigana fairly early. Oh, great. Um, so that's what that is, and I was telling you guys what furigana was, and this is a good way to show you. Um, as you can see, if you count them, the Japanese sentence has an extra comma because, well, because it can. Here's an example where English sentence will also use commas very differently.
ピーマンとキュウリとアボカドがいるよ。
As you can see, Japanese has a unique grammatical ways, like using to list things, and therefore this sentence doesn't need commas like the English translation. Neat, huh? Oh, okay. Oh, it shows me the English Oh, look at that. This is the English translation. I don't know. Can you guys read that? Yeah, maybe you guys can read that. Okay, so the very long sentence that I didn't understand, and here's why, because I don't know half of these words in in Japanese. If necessary, the government will force estate agents to reduce land prices. As you see, they put extra commas in based off of where they felt the commas should go, but in English, we wouldn't put that many commas in. Totally fine, and it's trying to give us an example of how it differs. For instance, the next sentence was we need green peppers, cucumbers, and avocado. And they use to basically mean and when you're listing things. So they say to between peppers and cucumbers and avocado. Uh, yeah, you guys probably can't exactly see it because it's pretty small, but right above this is the to, and right above here. So, um, so they don't use commas there, unlike we do in English. This is cool information. Okay, Mina, I get it. I get it. I understand why you suggest Maru Mori now. Yes, a finite list of things. It is just the things listed with to. Uh, so, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. I think it's really interesting where they say the commas can go wherever you feel like a comma should go. And the reason I said that that makes machine translation make a lot more sense because if you've ever, um, I mean, I play a lot of visual novels, and it's no surprise that there are a lot of visual novels that come out of Japan. And so there are visual novels I play that sometimes the companies are kind of assholes and use machine translation rather than localizing it, you know, when they want to charge me 60 fucking dollars for a game. I'm like, can I at least get a real person working on this game? You know, whatever. That's fine. Uh and when you see machine translation, especially with things that have a bunch of commas in them, because they felt like there should be a pause in that, like, for instance, if somebody is reluctantly telling you about something they don't want to tell you about, a very common visual novel, you know, issue, because they're dramatic. They might put a bunch of commas in it in Japanese. Now, I didn't know that because I don't read it in Japanese, but what I do see is that the machine translation will put a bunch of commas in where in English it wouldn't make sense. Like if we directly translated this and left all the commas in, we'd have 2 extra commas, as you can see. And by this I mean the government sentence, because they use 3 commas and we use 1. So that's why when I read this, I went, oh, that's why machine translation looks the way it does, because they leave the commas in, because they're not sure where they're supposed to put them. Uh-huh. Okay. Got it. Okay, so exclamation. Ooh, this is one of my favorite ones, okay? Except for they don't say it. Damn. Okay, well, we'll find out later. Guys, sometimes when you want to exclaim something, you say yo. Like, it's literally a verbal exclamation mark, okay? That's cool, right? And obviously we know what kawaii
かわいい
means. Kawaii. We know it means cute, and they just add a exclamation mark there. Here's an interesting one. We do have this squiggly fella in English. It's called a tilde, which I already knew. Because I love it. Anyways, as well, albeit a little smaller. In Japanese, it's called a nami-sen. Nami-sen? Okay. Which looks like this little marky thing. You know what, Mina? You're right. I probably won't read it all. Gets excited because learning cool stuff. Reads it all. Yeah. Well, you saw how I brushed over some of the kana stuff because it's like I already knew it all. No, we use a tilde. We don't use it very often in English, and in fact, most people don't even know what it's called. Yeah, exactly what Mina just said. See, we've got it, but we hardly ever use it. And I'm gonna find out what Japan uses it for, so I'm very, very curious. Anyway, so the tilde looks... Guys, pretend, okay? We're gonna... That's a better one. That's a better one, okay? Look, I'm not used to, drawing with a mouse. So, yes, they're worms, okay? And they call it a nami-sen, it looks like. It can mean a few different things. One usage that you'll see a lot while studying grammar is the something something usage. What? No! That doesn't tell me anything. Yes, exactly. No, Terry, actually, that is correct. Because English doesn't use a tilde very often, Discord has it as the strike through. And that's pretty much the only time I use it. Or when I'm talking about a general about, like a number, so around. I was always taught in math that the tilde means like kind of an estimate. So around 30. That's also how I use it. That's pretty much the only time I use it besides on Discord for striking through. Basically, this will go before a grammar point that attaches to something to indicate the mysterious something something that it might attach to. Here's an example. 4.1 something something what is that? Desu? Desu. Oh, desu. Okay. Oh, yeah, I figured it out, Mina, thank you. Yeah. I know. It's des, because you don't pronounce the U. Mina! Let me just be bad for a minute. Here, hold on, I had to look at what it was called again. Namisen indicates that there are a great many things we can attach des to. This is much like how we might use X in English to indicate an unstated thing. For example, you could write X person as something something no hito, which is person in Japanese, where the tilde functions as the X. Okay. Another common use is to indicate X through Y. For example, number 3 through 9 might be written as oh. So we use the dash specifically for that. If we do 3 through 9, we do that. That means 3 through 9. Okay. So they use it like that too. You also see I have to look at what it's called again. Hold on. I'm not looking it up. I'm going to see if I remember. Nami sen. Namisen. At the end of words, this indicates an emphatic elongation. Oh yeah, I use it like that too. Like a sing-songy voice. So like if we're saying good morning. Oh, I didn't put it in. You put it at the end of a thing, and it's kind of like, yay, sing-songy. That's the way I would do it, but they use it at the end for like an emphatic elongation. Okay. For instance, they've got kawaii here, but they draw out the E sound because they're trying to be emphatic about how cute this is. It's not just cute, it is cute.
かわいい
Okay, well, that's still the normal. The normal kawaii. But there we go. See, because I read it the same way that they were explaining it in English, it would be cute, you know? Okay. How much further is this? Oh, Jesus. It's 9 o'clock. How much? Oh, okay. It's not much further. We're almost done. Okay, quote. Quotation marks here are totally different in Japan. They look like this, which is actually kind of cool, I guess. Here's an example. And what they are showing us is, because it is very tiny on here, the quotation marks kind of look like, oh, I'm on erase, no wonder. They kind of look like this, and then a word here. It's beautiful, don't worry. And then this, okay? So that's their quotation marks, okay? looks like parentheses to me, but I get it. It's quotation marks, okay? Ad break. Anyways, so they will quote something.
ワンと犬が言った
One. The dog said woof. Yeah, okay. If you need to quote inside of a quote, ooh, you could do that with these bad boys. How do I do those? I need to know how I do those. What they're showing us is, let's see. Yeah, you can barely see it here, but instead of just the normal lines, they actually are hollow and look like this. It's the same. It's the same design, just they have a hollow spot in the middle. So it's really cool. Like that. Kind of like that. And then the other one, of course, would look similar. So if you have a quote inside of a quote, you'll have these hollow ones in there. They're the same size, trust me. Trust, okay? Hey, catch this ball. Okay, Japanese does not have a slash mark. Instead, we have this fun little ball, which can be used like the English forward slash to separate things. It can also be used to indicate the spaces in foreign names, like so. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, that's what that is. Holy shit. Guys, I didn't know that. I see that all the time, and I'm always like, I don't know why they have this obsession with these little. They like balls, okay? No, but I didn't know that. I get it. So, uh, Monkey D. Luffy, is with the dots in between it. That's basically their slash mark between uh, foreign names, um, which which I had no idea, and now suddenly why why my names get and Leah yours oh shit and like yes, yes, Mina, this suddenly makes things make sense. Exactly, is what I was just gonna say. Because when I write my name down, they keep trying to combine my. I'm from the U.S., so I have a middle name. Not everybody from the U.S. has a middle name, and I know it's not common in other countries, but I do have a middle name, and um, in Japan, they keep trying to smush my middle name in with my first name, and now I see why. Because I didn't put I didn't put a separator. So clearly it's the same name. Oh, it makes so much more sense. Uh-oh. Ah, the question mark is the same in Japanese as it is in English, but it's often only used in casual written language, chatting with your friends. In more formal situation, Japanese uses something else to indicate a question, but we'll go over that in a future lesson. I'm gonna let you guys know what it is because I also know what it is, just like the verbal exclamation, which is yo. In Japanese, it's ka. Okay, so if not again, these are not 100% rules, but ka at the end of a sentence usually means it's a question. So, yeah, yeah. So, Terry, exactly. Like, I am putting a blank space between my first name and my middle name, but they, I don't know if they think that maybe my handwriting is is too messy or what, but not everybody honors that blank space as a separation of the names. Um, so they keep trying to squish them together. And now I understand why. Because we're not using the punctuation that they know how to use. Because why would they know how we write our names in English, right? Like, if I saw kanji of somebody's name, I wouldn't know if or like what part was the first and what part was the well, and by first I mean their given name, of course, and or their surname and their given name. So like it makes sense. It makes sense to me why they wouldn't know that the space is making it a different part of my name. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was really interesting. I didn't know that, and now I suddenly do. So that's cool. Um, Although they didn't tell me what this ball was called. I would have liked to know that. And now I have to figure out how to make that ball because because I'm going to need to type it. Okay, so that's all for this little lesson. I'm not going to read the wrap up because they always make jokes that are terrible, terrible jokes. So we covered uh, all types of punctuation. and all sorts of things. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. And it is past the 2 hour, so we are ending it here. Wow, this was such a great one, guys. Balkoon. You know what? Mm, Maru-kun, right? That's round. That's ball. Mm, Tama? Tama is ball, isn't it? Maru is circle. I'm trying to remember. Sorry. Um. So yeah, that's it. That's it. Hi guys. Hi. Thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you everybody who showed up and interacted and taught me some awesome stuff. And I hope this lesson didn't drag on too long. I was very interested in the stuff we were learning, and it's neat to see it going like in use. Maramori, like I said, I get it now. I get why Mina was telling me that this is something I should be looking into, because I'd been learning just words and phrases and kanji, and like I said, I didn't know how to put it together. And simply just learning about the punctuation has suddenly made my experiences here make so much more sense. Um, for those of you who might have come in and don't necessarily know who I am, I'm RJ, and I have recently moved to Japan to live for at least a few years, if not longer. Um, and yeah, so I've been interacting with this society that I can't really communicate with because my Japanese sucks and I'm trying, but there's only so much I can do. So I'm trying to learn more. And literally, this punctuation stuff, none of the things I've gone through, none of the programs I've self-taught from, uh, none of them covered that. And suddenly now I'm like, oh, a little ball would have made all the difference in how I filled out my paperwork and how everything ended up being turned being printed out because my resident card and other things like that, like I might have to get that fixed. But yeah, thank you for coming out, everybody. I do these beginner lessons every night of the work week or the weekdays, not weekends. I get to take time off for that. So I will be back again tomorrow doing this again. You can take a look at my schedule. It's all right there, and Twitch is awesome and puts it for view in your own time zone. So you don't have to do any mental math, um, which is great because it's difficult. Anyways, good night, everybody. Hope you have a good one, or good day, or good morning, whatever time it is where you are. And last but not least, if you ever want to catch something you might have missed, I have a VOD channel on YouTube, and I have all my Japanese lessons in a Japanese lessons playlist. Okay, good night.